to this edition of the Government News Brief for Wednesday, October 20th, 2016. In the news, the new maternity ward of the Georgetown Public Hospital completed, the Guyana Power and Light working towards a blackout-free Christmas, and the Public Utilities Commission to be more active in serving consumers. Stay tuned for the details. Thank you for staying with us. I am Renetta LaFleur, now for the details. The new maternity ward of the Georgetown Public Hospital has been completed and has already been put to use. More in this report from Delicia Haynes.
A recent visit to the Georgetown Public Hospital has confirmed that the new maternity wing has been completed and is now pending an official opening. Director of Facilities Management of the GPHC, Kamal Haricharan, told the Government Information Agency that rooms are already being occupied on the top floor, while some other equipment are being transferred from the old wing.
Presently, we are in the process of occupying the extension of the maternity building. The operating theater is in operation. One of the rooms are. We are presently in the process of moving the NICU over. Earlier in the year, senior health officials had projected that the new wing would be completed by the third quarter of this year. Within the next 2 weeks, we'll be occupying the entire top floor of this building, which will include the birthing room, the NICU, operating room, recovery room. The completion of the new maternity wing will accommodate an additional 50 patient beds. This is in addition to 105 patient beds at the old maternity ward. The ground floor of this facility will accommodate training rooms, doctor and staff offices, and quarters. $89 million was budgeted in 2016 for the completion of the project. For the Government News Brief, I am Delicia Haynes.
The Guyana Power and Light Corporation is assessing data to determine the problem with its Demerara interconnected system, even as it assures consumers that the holiday season will not be marred by power outages. Neola Damon reports.
Acting Chief Executive Officer of GPL, Renford Homer, says this is the first disturbance of the Kingston to Sophia transmission lines since it was commissioned in 2014. Homer says maintenance will take a while but will be completed in time for the high demand of the holiday season.
We have completed the inspection. We have not yet done that maintenance because it means taking that line fully out of operation, and it will basically affect consumers in a significant way. And we are trying to sort of balance that discomfort, obviously, against having this work done. But what we do know is that we have to have it completed before we head into the Christmas season.
The acting CEO points out that the power company would be looking at newer controls and technologies that could further assist in identifying the issues. In the interim, the company is assessing data to better understand what went wrong.
We are looking at a lot of data that's coming out from our Kingston facility. We're also looking at a lot of data that is being captured through our Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition System, more commonly known as SCADA. And we are looking at a number of parameters, a number of indicators that would help us to better define and better pinpoint where this particular anomaly may be.
Meanwhile, at Bartica, the 3 aged generators experienced mechanical faults recently. Extensive maintenance works are required to get the 15-year-old Caterpillar set up and running until Bartica can switch to green energy.
There are plans for Bartica, and this is ahead of the plans for green energy. What we are doing is using all our resources to bring the current generators to a state where the output is acceptable and where it's capable of meeting the demand.
Additionally, in Anna Regina, the mechanics are working on the generator sets to bring relief also. Homer says the power company will ensure that all Guyanese benefit from proper distribution during the Christmas holidays. Neola Damon with this Government News Brief.
The Public Utilities Commission to play an integral role in serving consumers. Delon Sanko reports.
Minister of Public Telecommunications Catherine Hughes is advising persons who have problems with their utility service provider to formally lodge their complaints with the PUC. The minister says the government has been working to strengthen institutions across the country, and now it is time for those institutions to be made to work.
For too long, we have complained and we've not let the institutions work for themselves. We've depended on a friend and somebody in here to try and fix it. Eye contact, exactly. And what this government has done in the last year, which we really don't see, is beef up those institutions. So you can go as a citizen and regardless of who you know, make that complaint.
Hughes says that as the local ICT sector continues to develop, measures are being made to ensure consumers benefit. She notes that with the new telecommunication bill, more players will be allowed in the market. This will result in the Public Utilities Commission playing a more integral role in the services offered to consumers.
There are a lot of other residual things that this ministry has to look at to provide that platform effectively. Here I'm talking about the proper regulations and the legislation.
The Public Utilities Commission was established in 1990 with an objective to establish and enforce rules and procedures for the regularization of public utilities, consumer rate with international accepted regulatory standards. The PUC also seeks to promote and regulate the efficient long-term provision of utility service for national development consistent with the policy of Guyana. Delon Sanko for the Government News Brief.
The Region 5 administration is taking steps to integrate adolescent health into its regional healthcare delivery services. Details in this Zanil Williams report.
The Region 5 administration is set to roll out a series of programs geared towards achieving the 2020 Sustainable Development Goal of Health for All. Regional Health Officer Acting Dr. Steve Shifun says that the programs will address gaps in the delivery of health services to teenage residents. Dr. Shifun says health centers in the region will soon have a day dedicated to the delivery of adolescent health services.
So what we have done, we're going to have within the health sector, we're going to have Adolescent Day to cater for adolescent health, and that is going along with the Honorable Minister's plan of having adolescents more integrated into the health sector. So that our health centers now will have a day that caters for adolescents. Previously, we'd had days like Chronic Disease Day or, let's say, Antenatal Clinic Day. Now we're having a day for adolescents.
In addition to the Adolescent Day, health officials will be taking steps to improve health care services for teenage mothers.
Additionally to the Adolescent Day, we want to make sure that we decrease the incidence of teenage pregnancy. And if we have any pregnant mothers that are teenagers within our region, we want them to have a support group. So what we're doing is target health centers will have that support group for the teenage pregnant mothers.
On Friday, the region will have a walk to launch the series of activities designed to improve health care services to adolescents. For the Government News Brief, I am Zanil Williams.
Another round of consultations to revitalize the cooperatives was held this week in Region 5. Delon Sanko has the details.
Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection, Keith Scott, yesterday met with representatives from the various cooperative society in Region 5. Minister Scott says that he is on a mission to make the cooperative system the most powerful in the country, since cooperative societies lead most of the development in the developed countries.
But don't forget your history. In the 60s, we were all able to own our own homes. We were all able to create jobs. Jobs that even today, we are in a position to say it has produced our children and for their benefit. We have to be proud of that.
Scott notes that there are many co-ops that inspired others towards unity, but politics affected others negatively.
But never look only to cast blame outside. Let us also look inward. The co-op movement has unfortunately fallen victim to the manipulations and the crookishness of many of the members themselves. What we found was that there were a few educated people within the movement, and those forces are guilty of manipulating the others.
Regional Executive Officer of Region 5, Ovid Morrison, says new energies are needed for the cooperative movement to move forward in Region 5.
In this region, we have a deterioration in terms of the feelings for the cooperative movement and in terms of the respect we give to the cooperative movement.
Morrison reminded members that the only way they can receive the benefits is by developing the discipline to understand the roles they need to play in the movement. Cooperative members from Number 40, Hopetown, Shieldstown, Seafield, and Rosignol brought their concerns to the minister and his team. Similar consultations will be held in other regions across Guyana. Delon Sanko for the Government News Brief.
Young athletes, sportsmen, and women will be competing against their Surinamese counterparts this weekend at the Inter-Guyanas Games. Isaiah Braffett tells us more.
Director of Youth Christopher Jones says this year's Inter-Guyana Games will showcase young athletes and sportsmen and women. He encourages persons to attend the games.
It's not only one discipline, it's 7 disciplines. So likely any sporting fan would find themselves wanting to attend some one of those games. We are hoping that the Guyanese see this as an opportunity to lend support in being present for our athletes. And more so, these are student athletes. All of them attend an education institution in the country, and it's worthy of supporting. So we are hopeful that we see large attendance at these games over the weekend. And again, admission is free.
The Inter-Guyana game kicks off on Friday and runs until October 23. Guyana will battle against Suriname in 7 disciplines, namely track and field, basketball, volleyball, badminton, futsal, swimming, and table tennis. Guyana's Olympian Hannibal Gaskin will be participating.
It's noteworthy to mention that when we hosted the CBC Games earlier this year, the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall was upgraded to an international standard, the arena and everything. The cost for attending those games were about $500 per person, and yet still we found that at times 3/4 of the sports hall was empty.
The games are scheduled to be held at the National Gymnasium, the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall, the Aquatic Center, and Telenora Stadium. Isaiah Braffett, the Government News Brief.
We have come to the end of today's edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on Gina's website. Gina has an active Facebook page, and we encourage you to visit and like us so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Do join us again tomorrow for another edition of the Government News Brief. I am Renetta LaFleur. Thank you for watching.